Thanksgiving food tier list, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Thanksgiving today. The Thanksgiving food tier list, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to go through these food and drinks and rank them S tier, A tier, B tier, C, F, and AO, WTF for the stuff that shouldn't even be on here. All right, Thanksgiving is upon us, one of the best times of the year. Cannot wait, very excited. So I thought I would rank these for each and every one of you. Let me know in the comments below where you have some of this, or where did I get it right, where did I get it wrong. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's start. The first thing on here, red velvet cake. What the hell are we doing? I've never seen red velvet cake at Thanksgiving. I don't know if this is something that is popular outside of the Southeast. I don't know. But get out of my face, red velvet cake. It's going in the AO WTF tier. I do love red velvet cake on its own, but I've never had it during Thanksgiving. Biscuits. Love biscuits in general. Again, never had them during Thanksgiving. They've never been the bread option. They have never been part of what I have going on here. Maybe if you did like a Thanksgiving brunch, biscuits are involved, but what are you going to do? So they're also going in the AO WTF tier because I'm not totally sure why they're there. Now, again, on their own, biscuits are S tier. On its own, red velvet cake might even be S tier. But Thanksgiving, nah. Now, hold on a second. Dinner rolls. Okay. Dinner rolls are unbelievable rolls. They're one of the highest forms of rolls. They might be the highest form of rolls. You go to a Texas Roadhouse, Charlie's, if Charlie's are even still around. Hard to beat them. I see we have bread options all over the place. So it looks like we've got dinner rolls, King Hawaiian, Crescent, and then we have cornbread over here. If I had to choose out of all of those, I'm probably going dinner rolls. I'm putting dinner rolls in A tier. You got to have a bread option with the gravy. I would prefer the dinner rolls over the other ones, but c'est la vie. King's Hawaiian. Now, I know a lot of people who rock and roll with the King's Hawaiian and utilize it as a medium for a sandwich. So King's Hawaiian, turkey, cranberry, some gravy. I don't do that, but I know a lot of people do that. King's Hawaiian for me is C tier because I do not do that. I do not utilize them in that sense. They are incredibly edible, to where if I'm walking by a couple hours later and I just want a little something in the dome, I might have a King's Hawaiian dipped in some gravy or something. All right, next up, crescent roll. If dinner rolls weren't involved, crescent rolls would be my go-to bread of choice with the gravy. So I'm throwing it in A tier as well. Brussels sprouts. Okay, now this is a controversial yet brave opinion. I know a lot of people hate Brussels sprouts. You're not cooking them right. Brussels sprouts should be baked to holy hell, charred, glazed. They should be crispy. They should be, there should be some kind of sticky sauce on them. I love Brussels sprouts. I eat them all the time. People who steam them or barely cook them, you're not doing it right. And they're gross as hell like that. Now, Brussels sprouts aren't usually part of my Thanksgiving dinner. We just pass on that. But if they were cooked correctly and they were available, they would be on my first plate. A tier is kind of my first plate. B tier is kind of my second place. C tier is kind of like snack. F is I'm passing, no doubt about it. And AO WTF is just kind of there. S tier is, in a class of its own. And we'll obviously find some stuff to put in there. Brussels sprouts, I'm going to put in B tier because if they are there, cooked correctly, they probably will make one of my plates. Maybe not the first plate. Make you very gassy, though. Butternut squash, that's going to go in the old WTF tier. I love butternut squash soup. Make it all the time. But I've never had it for Thanksgiving. Also, soup, okay? Let's talk about the strategy. If you're indulging yourself at Thanksgiving, you don't want to fill up with just liquid. You don't want to fill up with hot, heavy soup, right? So I can't even imagine that being a good idea. Cranberry sauce. I'm going to put cranberry sauce in the F tier. It's a chutney. It's gross. It's like a boba, but on Thanksgiving. I'm not about it. I don't like it. I don't want giant cranberries in my sauce. I am not part of it, okay? What I am part of is jellied cranberry, which AKA is canned cranberry. Canberry, some would say. I love it. I love it gelatinous. I love how it looks like the can it came in. I like how it has the ridges on the side of the can. I like that some of them, if they are too old, you can read the nutritional value inside of the jelly because it is turned itself into the can. I love that. I put it all over the damn place. I put it on the turkey. I put it on the rolls. I mix and match. I get it with every single plate, every single bite. I'm putting it in S tier. I've talked myself into it. It's going into S tier because it transcends the first plate, the second plate. It also can be involved in the C, the snacks. I love it. If you're not doing jellied cranberry, if you're doing cranberry sauce, you are trying way too hard. Way too hard. Get out of my face. Oh my God, green bean casserole. Congratulations, green bean casserole has entered the A tier, almost the S tier. I love green bean casserole. The only reason I didn't put it in the S tier is because it might not be on every plate. You might just put the green bean casserole on the first plate or the second plate, have a bunch of it, but you're not going to have it on every single plate. You will definitely have some leftovers. So green bean casserole is an absolute stalwart of Thanksgiving cuisine. Roast turkey. Okay, now we're getting to the different turkey options. Okay, I see multi-turkeys on here. Roast turkey is the dominant turkey. It is the best form of turkey. We're going to S tier. Turkey roasted is the vibe. Absolutely drowning in gravy. I think turkey can be a little bit dry just as it is, so you got to have a whole lot of gravy in there, but turkey is a great medium for gravy. I'm also a white meat kind of guy with the turkey. I also love the bacon that's on top of the turkey, the bacon weave that's layered on top of the turkey. I do like that quite a bit. So if you're not doing that, you're not doing turkey right. But yeah, big fan of turkey on Thanksgiving. As far as just like, now here's another controversial yet brave opinion. Another reason turkey is S tier is because some people like me would argue that turkey is actually better the next day on sandwiches. A turkey sandwich, leftover turkey, white bread, heavy amount of mayonnaise, a disturbing amount of mayonnaise, and a disturbing amount of black pepper. That's my preferred way to eat the turkey. I would prefer that over the, freshly sliced off the roast turkey. But turkey's S tier because it can be eaten in so many different ways. It is the absolute staple of Thanksgiving. So good stuff for turkey. Cornbread. Okay, I love cornbread, and I have had it on Thanksgiving. It is a little less usual, I would say, than the dinner roll or crescent roll. But if cornbread is there, I am more than likely going to eat half to 75% of the tray. Cornbread is one of those things where I might not get it on my first plate. I might not even get it on my second plate. But every single time I walk past the tray of cornbread, I will get some cornbread. And then I'll eventually eat 10 to 12 squares of cornbread. It's just so damn good. Corn on the cob, that's going C tier. I'm not messing with it. It's too messy. It's too in my face. It's too disturbing for those around me to watch me gnaw on this giant corn on the cob. If I'm going to eat corn, I'm going to eat it, prepared, whether it's cream corn, whether it's regular corn, whatever. But I'm not going to embarrass myself at a Thanksgiving dinner or lunch by being selfish and eating a giant corn on the cob and just spraying people with butter and the corn, the kernels, and they're exploding, juice is going everywhere. It's a very traumatizing thing to watch for a lot of people. So I'm not going to go corn on the cob. There are certain foods that I like, but I'm not going to eat in settings like that. Crawfish is one where, yeah, crawfish is good, but I'm not going to sit there and eat crawfish in front of public, snotting all over myself and sweating, crying. I'm not going to do that. So whereas corn on the cob is good, it's just not the time or the place. Spinach, what the hell? Spinach is great. I love spinach, but just spinach by itself, who's doing that on Thanksgiving? Who is just throwing out the spinach? No thanks. Cream spinach. Now hold on a second. Cream spinach I've never had for Thanksgiving. Cream spinach is more of a Christmas kind of situation, more of an Easter kind of situation. When you got prime rib or steak floating around, I'm not sure if cream spinach really goes with turkey, but I mean, cream spinach is so damn good. It's one of my favorite sides. It might be my all-time favorite side. Just if I'm making my own meal, it might be like a slice of prime rib with some cream spinach on the side. I love cream spinach, but Thanksgiving, never really had it for Thanksgiving. But if an option, it would absolutely be on my first plate. But because it's so rarely involved on Thanksgiving, I've knocked it down to the B tier. Asparagus, same situation. Very rarely they might be involved for Thanksgiving. Depends on the menu. If we happen to have a prime rib, maybe asparagus is thrown in there. But it's not usually at my Thanksgiving. If it is at my Thanksgiving, it's going on the first plate. Another rule with asparagus, same as Brussels sprouts. Cook the holy hell out of them. Roast them some bitches, okay? Love asparagus, lemon all over them, Parmesan cheese all over them. When asparagus are cheap, about $1.99-ish. $4.99 is crazy, but about $1.99 a pound. I usually buy asparagus and I eat them every single night. I love asparagus. Love them. All right, creamed corn. Now, creamed corn does get involved quite a bit on Thanksgiving. More than likely, we'll have some creamed corn. I'm also throwing in Mexicorn, okay? Cheesy corn, some would say. The creamed corn's savory variant. It's a little bit more of that Mexicano kind of flair. Love that. And yes, it will be on one of my first two plates, probably my second plate. But creamed corn is delicious. It's just a real solid staple. Creamed corn is not going to win any awards. Creamed corn is not going to be one of those things where you go home thinking, man, who made the creamed corn? But it's going to get the job done. It's a team player. White gravy, and this isn't a racial thing. White gravy, I'm putting in the AO WTF tier along with the biscuits. I guess people do brunch for I guess people do brunch Thanksgiving. I don't know, but biscuits and gravy, S+++ tier on its own. S++ tier in the breakfast game, but this isn't a breakfast tier list. Brown gravy, that is S tier. That's probably the most S tier. I would think that's number one, the number one stunner. Brown gravy is unbelievable. It's perfect. It can be put on turkey. It can be put on rolls. It can be put on green bean casserole. It can be put on literally anything you're eating. And it will be put on almost everything I eat. How could I forget about mashed potatoes? It can be put on there. It's just perfect. It is the absolute perfect lubricant. Love it. So brown gravy, S tier as S tier gets. Spiral ham. All right. Spiral ham versus ham. Controversial. All right. Spiral ham is absolutely worse than just regular ham. Spiral ham is going B tier because it's still ham and it still is delicious, but it is a bit like Lunchables. It is a bit, like, should I really be ingesting this? How many nitrites are in this? Is this going to give me some kind of form of cancer? But it is good when that thing is glazed up, Now, ham, A tier. Ham's S tier. What are we saying here? A good old-fashioned baked ham, olives on the top, pickles on the top. I know some people do pineapples and cherries. We do olives and pickles. Cloves all over the damn place. And that glaze, Lord have mercy. Ham, same reason that turkey's S tier is the reason ham's S tier. It is unbelievable when it first comes out of the oven, first gets carved up. But it's also unbelievable the next day, and it's also unbelievable hot, and it's unbelievable cold. You can get into that fridge and get you a piece of ham sandwiches with mustard all over the place. Just so damn good. Also, you can utilize it for breakfast. You get a ton of ham for leftovers. Boom. You ever heard of ham and eggs? Wow. You never heard of turkey and eggs, I'll tell you that much. Ham, really good stuff. Now, pork, some people don't agree with pork just intestinally. I'm one of those people. Pork kind of messes me up. But for ham, I take the hit. Smoked turkey, that's C tier. Get out of my face. I'm going to go ahead and put fried turkey C tier as well. Fried turkey is better than smoked turkey, but smoked turkey, I just don't want to taste nothing but smoke. If I wanted to taste nothing but smoke, I'd go in the penny slot section of my local casino. I don't need it. Turkey's good enough. Fried turkey, smoked turkey, you're trying too hard, you're doing too much. There's too many people wearing camo at your Thanksgiving lunch or dinner if you're eating fried turkey and smoked turkey. Mac and cheese, that's A tier. Mac and cheese might honestly be S tier, but mac and cheese is absolutely delicious. You know what's kind of funny is that mac and cheese really isn't at my Thanksgiving very, very much. It's not. It's a very underutilized side for me, I believe. I think we should, if I had my my way, we would add mac and cheese to the menu, but it's not usually there. So it's A tier. If it was there routinely for me, it probably would be S tier. But I'm just theorizing what it would be like. But I do love, I mean, how could you not? Shells and cheese, obviously better than mac and cheese, but what can you do? Baked mac and cheese, good Lord have mercy. Baked mac and cheese, again, mac and cheese isn't even at my Thanksgiving, much less baked mac and cheese. But baked mac and cheese would also be in A tier. Very, very good. Mashed potatoes is S tier. What are we doing here? Brown gravy and mashed potatoes, match made in heaven. It is the savory version of peanut butter and jelly. You throw some butter on there, you're gravied out of your mind. I mean, it's going to go on the first plate. It's going to go on the second plate, and you'll probably have a bowl just later on. Love it. Baked potato, good, but I do not have for Thanksgiving. Again, that's more of a Christmas, Easter, Christmas Eve, steak, prime rib. There might be some baked potatoes involved, but mashed potatoes is the dominant potato option for Thanksgiving. Sweet potato, same situation. Love sweet potatoes on their own. Now, do we have sweet potato casserole? Oh, yeah, we do. Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. Sweet potato casserole is going to go way high up there. Sweet potato by itself, delicious. Eat one basically every night for dinner, but they're just not. There's no place for them at Thanksgiving. Green beans probably will be at Thanksgiving, but they're an absolute last resort for the side. There's just so many better sides. I can't imagine going green beans, especially when there's green bean casserole. Peas. Now, peas are A tier because of the combo with the mashed potatoes. I am one of those kind of hombres that goes mashed potato, gravy, divot into the side of the mashed potatoes, put peas in there. So there's peas divoted into the mashed potatoes. That's kind of how I roll. But because of that, mashed potatoes carry the peas to the A tier. Cabbage, we might have some smothered cabbage. Smothered cabbage is badass. I'm assuming that's what this is. It's kind of fringe, so I'll put it at B tier. But smothered cabbage would make my second plate, maybe even my first plate, if it's sauteed down with bacon and just savory goodness. But it is fringe. It's a bit unique. I'm not sure if it's at every table, so I'm going there. Fried oyster mushrooms. Okay, I've never had fried oyster mushrooms at Thanksgiving, but I am from South Mississippi, so we have oyster dressing, oyster stuffing, as some would say. So I'm going to pretend this is oyster dressing, and if it's oyster dressing, it's A tier. It's going on the first plate. I'm having a ton of it, and guess what I'm putting on it? Gravy. Oyster dressing is delicious. Deviled eggs. Here's the rules. If I see deviled eggs, they're going in the S tier. Here's the thing about deviled eggs. How many can I fit in my mouth? I'm eating them on the hour, every hour. I'm walking by. I'm an absolute assassin, mercenary, drive-by deviled egg consumption. I'm going to the bathroom, walking through the kitchen. I happen to walk by the platter of deviled eggs. Guess what I'm taking in the bathroom? A deviled egg, maybe even two. Oh, I gotta go. I'm leaving the bathroom. I'm going back to the living room to watch the rest of the game. Guess what I'm taking with me? I just scoop by 2 more deviled eggs. Love deviled eggs. It's crazy when you think about, hey, do you want to eat 24 eggs throughout the day? No, I do not. Okay, well, what if I boil them, cut them in half, and fill them with some kind of mustard mayonnaise mixture? Yes, I would love to eat them in that situation. So, dozen eggs, easy. 2 dozen eggs, even easier. Deviled eggs, it's kind of funny because they never make the plate, but that's because why wait? Pop them in right there. A tier. This, I'm not even sure what the hell I'm looking at. Is this collard greens? It's unnamed. I think that's collard greens. We don't usually have greens for Thanksgiving. Greens are delicious, though, and if greens are available, we'll go B. Greens are more of an Easter thing down here, but Yeah, I mean, if greens are there, and it could be, like greens, like turnip greens, collard greens, could absolutely be at Thanksgiving. It would not be surprising me at all. It's just not a staple. Similar to cabbage. I wouldn't be surprised at all if someone brought cabbage, some other cabbage, but it's not every year. I wouldn't be surprised if someone brought collard greens, but it's not every year. If it is, I'm eating it. It's B. Wine. Okay. Now, Thanksgiving is one of the biggest drinking holidays of the season. Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's. Obviously, you have to get absolutely loose as a goose. Now, the way I do it, I wake up early, Macy's Day Parade. I'm watching the entire thing. I'm drinking Bloody Marys and or champagne throughout. I drink champagne throughout the day, through my lunch, through the first game. Around 3 o'clock, I switch to bourbon, okay? Now, some people would switch to wine. Totally okay. If you want to switch to red wine into the evening instead of going bourbon, that's totally fine with me. So I'm putting a tier wine. Spice cider, this is more of a northern thing. I live in, my Thanksgiving is in South Mississippi. It's probably going to be 78 degrees on Thanksgiving. I've never had spice cider for Thanksgiving. Welch's sparkling fruit juice. Who in the hell is drinking this in 2024? Roasted veggies. Roasted veggies to me, they're just so just unenthusiastic. Like, there's so many more things you could do. Mac and cheese, green bean casserole, baked mac and cheese, oyster dressing, smothered cabbage, like cream corn, savory cream corn, Mexicorn, asparagus, cream spinach. You can get nuts, sweet potato casserole. You can do another version of stuffing. There's just so many things you can do. It's not the time for roasted veggies. Roasted veggies says no effort to me. Stuffing, A tier. Specifically stovetop stuffing. It's not the time. Very similar to cranberry sauce and canned cranberry. Let's not mess with the classics, okay? Let's not mess with the canned cranberry. Let's not mess with the stovetop stuffing. I want the stovetop stuffing. I don't want Wolfgang Puck's version of stuffing. I don't want your take on stuffing. I don't want a deconstructed stuffing. I want stovetop stuffing coming right out of the box, basically made out of ingredients that they can send to the International Space Station. Who the hell even knows what it is? I don't care. Give me stovetop stuffing, and guess what I'm doing? That's right, I'm covering it in gravy. Sausage stuffing, see, this is what I'm talking about. People are starting to get cute. They're starting to try and change the stuffing. By the way, stovetop, come on. Let's get a round of applause for stovetop. But sausage stuffing, C tier. If there is no stovetop stuffing, if I'm in the Upper East Side of Manhattan and the Thanksgiving lunch thinks they're too good for stuffing, then and they have some kind of Thomas Keller remixed sausage stuffing, I'll eat that, but I'm not happy about it. Next up, sweet potato casserole. That is S tier. Are you kidding me? The marshmallows roasted on the top, cinnamon, out of your mind. That's going on every plate. It's savory, yet it's sweet. It's a main course, yet it's a dessert. Beautiful. Sweet potato casserole, sweet potato souffle, however you want to label it. That is S tier, no doubt about it. Booty noodles. What the hell are we talking about here? What is a booty noodle? I mean, is this a Jack Harlow song? Like, have y'all ever heard of booty noodles? Could you imagine showing up to Thanksgiving and someone saying, hey, what'd you bring? Oh, I brought the sweet potato casserole. Oh, I brought the cream spinach. Oh, I brought the crescent rolls. What'd you bring? Oh, I brought the booty noodles. Get the hell out of here. Go sit outside. Congratulations, you're eating out front. You're eating in the yard. We can't even look at your face. You walked in here and you brought a tray of booty noodles. You couldn't have named it something else. I'm disgusted. My 85-year-old grandmother is crying because she just had to listen to you say booty noodles before lunch. You have ruined everything. The kids' table. You can't even sit there. You get the hell out of here. That's how you get thrown out of a party, as if you bring booty noodles. Potato salad. Never have it for Thanksgiving. Really good, though. My mom makes the best potato salad in the world. But if she brought it to Thanksgiving, I would eat it. But since it's never at my Thanksgiving and it's bit fringe, I'm going to go C tier. Now, I do love German potato salad. That's even more fringe. That's definitely not going to be at Thanksgiving. But potato salad's awesome. Pumpkin pie, S tier. My first choice of pie is pumpkin pie. So good. Sweet potato pie would also be up there, but very rarely do we have it. Candied yams. I don't know if you heard what I said about sweet potato casserole, but candied yams, wish they were sweet potato casserole, C tier. Apple pie, it's not July 4th, it is Thanksgiving. So many other pies. Apple pie is not going to get chosen. It's not even going to be brought. If it is brought, it's not getting selected. Pecan pie, boom, congratulations, S tier. I'm going pecan pie, pumpkin pie, back to back, and I'm rotating between those two. Unless there's sweet potato pie, that I'm also eating sweet potato pie. I would rather sweet potato pie over pumpkin pie, but more than likely we're going to have pumpkin pie, not sweet potato pie. So it is what it is, but they are S tier. Peach cobbler, again, it's not July 4th. Banana pudding, again, it's not July 4th. These are summer desserts. Apple pie, peach cobbler, banana pudding. They also are heavily reliant on the ice cream, sans the banana pudding. Sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie, pecan/pecan pie is much more of a Thanksgiving fall kind of situation. Bourbon, S tier as well. Hit, like I said, champagne, S tier as well. You get involved with the champagne early, then you knock down the bourbon, and that's really just kind of how you do it for the holidays. The holidays are for now let me give you a little advice, okay? The holidays are for maintaining a heavy buzz for about 14 hours. The holidays are not for being loose as a goose. They're not for being sober Sally. So you want to reach the buzz, and then you want to carry that buzz. You don't want to peak. You don't want to be the guy who everyone's talking about the next day because you were too drunk at the family function. And that's where a bourbon is good, because bourbon is a sipper. You go champagne, okay, you're kind of catching a buzz a little bit. Let me pour a bourbon. I'll take 2 sips out of it for the next 3 hours. And then you just kind of carry that bourbon. Is it Makers? Is it Woodford? That's up to you. Or do you bust out the Blantons? Do you bust out, do you get the Pappy out? Are you feeling good? You're watching the games. Absolutely magical. This is it. I love the tier list. I mean, you're talking about S tier, gravy, cranberry, canned, turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, deviled eggs, stovetop stuffing, sweet potato casserole, an assortment of pies, sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie, pecan pie, the rolls, dinner rolls, crescent rolls. You got some sides in here, mac and cheese, green bean casserole. You got peas in the mashed potatoes, oyster dressing. Unbelievable. And then, what the hell's going on here? We got red velvet cake, butternut squash, spinach, white gravy, biscuits and gravy, spice cider, Welch's sparkling juice, and booty noodles. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Thanksgiving. Let me know in the comments below where I got it right, where I got it wrong, and I will see you in the next video.